I made that mistake with Jurassic Park. I heard that was coming out and saw that it was a book and thought, oh, I read the book. You read the book and then you watch a film and go, yeah, hang on a minute. Half of the book, the whole premise that the dinosaurs could somehow breed. I mean, that's about 10 seconds in the film, and it's just gone
Yeah.
again. That's
And
that's
Yeah.
that's a huge chunk of the book.
now the peanuts have got to figure out what conversation we were having. Now we're live.
Sorry, you had to be
Yeah,
there.
you have to
You had
guess
to
the
be.
movie from all the
Yeah.
clues. There's a book,
So
and there's going to be a remake, and
And there's a bug hunt.
there's bugs. There's bugs.
That is a bug hunt. That'll throw them off.
Mm.
bug hunt, yep. Exterminators.
They just need a bigger
Yeah, I
can
had
of
heard that.
Mortine, I think.
I had heard they were making it, but there is quite. Oh, look at turtle's gone all wonky.
Yeah, what
Oh, hello.
what happened to your turtle?
Oh, he's out of the water.
decapitated.
Oh, he's doing all sorts of funny things. Oh, what are you doing,
Oh,
turtle?
while you're fixing your
Yeah.
turtle,
You chopped your own head
I
off.
just got,
Blimey.
and
I got to push reset.
the
on
initials
turtle.
were FH, and the clue was how far back up was it? Today's scientist was an English astronomer who formulated a theory of stellar nucleosynthesis. Synthesis? That's close enough. And was one of the
Yeah.
authors of the influential B2FH paper. He also
It
coined
was
the
actually
phrase.
B squared FH, but I couldn't put that in.
Oh, well, you could have wrote B and the word squared. But anyway,
Oh, okay. I
yeah,
couldn't.
and he also coined the
Yeah.
phrase Big Bang. The Big Bang Theory, that's a TV show.
It is.
So I said Fred Boyle, Fred Hoyle, Fred Doyle.
I mean, if I saw the words FH like that there, I would have thought crackhead.
Well, I was going to say F and H, but I wasn't going to say the F word.
Yeah.
I can't put any coins in my own swear jar. That wouldn't be fair.
No, it'd be rather silly, actually. Think
Yeah.
about it. Let me put my own money in my swear jar.
Yeah. Oh, Renee, mate. Now my biscuits will inevitably burn. Thanks, Terry. Well, I can't. Well, somebody has to make some sacrifices. Like,
Yep. And you're just
speaking of sacrifices, a few of us had to do some sacrifice this morning.
Oh,
Early hours I had to get
I
up.
sacrificed a few brain cells just listening to it.
up there.
Should have been sitting in my seat, buddy.
I couldn't
Like
hardly.
Like I said, Blue, I was feeding ducks at the time and I was mighty tempted to kick a few.
I'll bet.
I'm just visualising these ducks in a group, then you're kicking one, and they all just go flying out like.
They all turn on you. They have a revolution.
Pumpy scatter.
One way in finding out if they quack or not.
Yeah. Or getting kicked up the jacksie. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any peanuts out there sacrifice the hours watching that? Don't know anyone else out there. I didn't check the side chat over on Blues to see who was over there.
There was a mob over
there.
Yeah, I couldn't. It just was flowing with things off my screen. It was just going up the screen. So many things coming in.
Yeah,
I couldn't follow it.
How was Bev at the beginning saying, "Oh, Blue, when you finish, we're going to leave time for you to do your super chats." I think was that a bit of a dig?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know it was a good idea though. Could have put
I
some
don't know how
curly
his channel
questions.
went.
Could have put some curly questions in for Bev. If you'd have answered them, that's a different story.
What are you going to question? He didn't, and he had 1 point, and that was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one trick pony. Well, just for the peanuts out there that didn't get to see Bev's introduction, we're just going to play that little. That didn't go for very long, did it? The introduction.
Oh, he waffled on for about a half an hour, I think.
Oh, dear.
What his introduction?
Yeah. His spiel on the whiteboard.
Oh no, I'm out of tea.
Yeah, I thought that little bit would be interesting, and then we'll just jump somewhere if I can find the spot. Because I remember putting the.
It's equally bad no matter where you
Yeah,
go.
that's what
It
I
doesn't
mean.
matter.
You can fast forward through the first bit where he's telling you that A equals B equals C.
Oh, that's
and
the
then
bit. Yeah, but that's
explaining
the
you
good
that A
bit.
equals that A equals B equals C.
That's the good bit.
Before he actually got to the point of what is A, what is B, and what is C.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that we'll play that bit up till about there, and then we'll jump it. We'll do a big
It
jump.
was just so like
Because
I think
because
most
I
people
watched
handled
because
that.
I was there watching it, so I should have wrote down a timestamp. I'm going
I
by
think
the
most people
images
handled
that Blue shared on his screen, so that way I can get a rough idea what the conversation was about at the time.
Yeah, no, it was sort of like how dumb do you think your audience is that they don't know that A equals B equals C and need that explained? Most people have done that level of algebra.
I just went, huh?
It's oh well, I mean you'll show it, but it's the way he said if A equals B and B equals C, A equals C, I'll just take B out of the way.
Yeah.
And A equals C. What? And you think that's logic? What? And that was the point at which I thought, sod it, I'll go back to Jose because I can't handle this. if this is the depths at which he's going to, sorry, Blue, you're on your own.
Yeah, but I like what came up first before this started.
Right.
Where is it?
Oh, I might have missed this then because I was keeping Jose.
Yeah, that was on. This was on blue screen before Bev started.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah. It's like how we're talking about this, and the peanuts can't see anything we're talking about with him.
Why can't the peanuts see?
Well, they couldn't 2 seconds ago. I was watching it on.
Oh,
What can they see now?
But there is a lag on YouTube, isn't there?
Yeah, it's still not up to where we're up to. What's it?
Yeah, it's showing.
Is it? It's now.
Yes.
Yeah. It took a little while to come through.
I think it's you.
There we are. Could be me.
Yeah, and of course they won't hear the conversation until the thing comes up anyway, will they? So
No,
it's not that bad.
No. Well, now that's there. Yeah.
So we're not going to pause it at any time. We're just going to, as it get.
Rip the band-aid off.
Oh, there's no closed captions. Blue didn't put closed captions. Blue, you got to put closed captions.
Oh, did I forget? I'm sorry.
That's okay. You just got to scroll down on the page where it goes to where that end one where it stop stream, start stream thing. That's where you find that. Okay.
Your screen also.
Yeah, it might be.
How quiet is it over there?
Okay, I can do it this way. So I think now, hopefully we've got that up where everybody can see it. It just came on YouTube, so yeah, we're sharing it now. I'm sorry, Bev. I really apologize about that. Let me get back at. Start over again if you want to.
No.
Okay. So from the the statement before, if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C, we could see that there's a common part. So I'm calling this, I'm saying that the advanced simplicity that we're doing tonight is a lesson from Euclid. So this is Euclid's Elements, you can see on screen now. And the first axiom within Euclid's Elements states, things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Now, you say this is the foundations of geometry, the axioms that they go by. These are more common notations. They are in everything, really, within our understanding, within logic, within mathematics, within geometry, within numbers, within everything. So things which are equal to the same thing are equal to each other. Now, that will be the form that I will be taking, well, both of the arguments tonight. To keep it as simple as possible, these arguments will be made around that very fact. So if that's how we break it down to simplicity, then...
So if he's saying an apple's equal to an apple, it's equal to a banana.
No,
Is
it's
that
not.
what
No. That's just silly, Terry.
Can I guess that inequality comes later?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm trying to help Bev. I'm trying to help Bev out. He's having. He's struggling.
What he said so far isn't that bad.
No, what he said so far actually is quite sensible. It's what he does with it that really piss you off.
Okay.
Yeah, so far that's just a standard logical proposition. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C.
Yeah.
That's used everywhere. Okay, no problem with that.
No problem? Okay.
No problem.
Oh, okay.
What we're doing is we're taking the very first axiom of the fundamentals of the elements of geometry, which is the elements
and we're going to abuse it.
When you break it down,
you're going to misuse it. Yes.
So this is really the elements of logic that we're dealing with, and so that being the axiom, just get rid of that. Here we go. So the first argument, I've replaced A with level, and C with horizontal. So all we have to do really,
this is where we had technical difficulties.
Form of argument is find a.
Okay. This is Blues, not the not the Discord channel. Yeah. So
I had a problem there. I've got it paused. And I didn't realize it. I'm about to fix it, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Common element that both level and horizontal have in common. I would say.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought we weren't watching Lindsay till after. What?
This is where he starts to abuse it.
Yes.
Equal elevation. Now,
can you just go back a little bit? I just want to hear what he said about B. Sorry.
Well, he went from there.
I would say
those actual words for B.
Equal.
No, it goes quiet there. I don't know what happened.
Equal elevation. Now, I think everyone will be able to agree.
The sound cut out there. I don't know what happened there.
Because I think his B is an equal elevation. Everything on a horizontal plane it's not everything on a horizontal plane is equal elevation. It was actually quite wrong. Anyway, can't remember what he exactly said now.
I don't understand his notation thing that he's got in the middle of the two B's.
Well, he's saying that level equals B and B equals horizontal. But he hasn't written out what B is there.
No.
Okay.
Elevation.
Yeah.
However, normal people would talk about that right now. Also, horizontal is well, an auto level would produce a horizontal plane, and that horizontal plane would have an equal elevation. You would measure a difference, so that
And there's the
horizontal
flaw right there.
There's that's where he's fucked it up right there. I mean, sorry.
Yep. We went from the dead center of the lane to way off in the ditch, through the field, and a couple of fences, all in one step.
Yep.
that way would be an equal elevation, and level would be an equal elevation. So that wouldn't work. The equal elevation.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah, for the people watching, what Paul and I are back and forth about, he says level is an equal elevation, and that is true. That is true. But the false assumption is that horizontal is an equal elevation.
Yeah.
That's where the thing falls off the rails.
Yeah,
That is not true. That's a false assumption.
And it's only downhill from here.
Of a horizontal would be zero slope, no tilt either way. So therefore, horizontal is definitely an equal elevation, and level as well. So, in order for you to make a nice logical statement like this, linking level and horizontal to an equal elevation is well, provable. I think this is something that's a natural thing. Everybody should know this. Very simple, ABC. So level is an equal elevation. Horizontal is also an equal elevation. Then for level is horizontal. Very simple.
There you go. It's written in.
Again,
it's written in red
I will.
and blue.
I won't just do that. So
it must be true then.
Let me go here because I've been getting some. Been going over this. Let me. Can you guys see that? Is that? Are you guys seeing that?
Lagging behind, by the way.
Is it
when it went through to your
ISO, yes.
channel, it was lagging.
Yeah, we're seeing it's clicking in and out, but we're seeing it.
I wish I could say it like SE when I come around to this. So ISO is a word for a contour line, and a contour line connects points of equal elevation. Like I just said, equal elevation. Yeah. That's our nice connecting word. So a contour line or ISO line.
So you're going okay, or
points on a map
here
that are out of or equal value. Examples of contour lines or ISO lines are isobars or isotherms for pressure.
He's not wrong about this.
Perhaps the
but he's about to fuck
example of a contour line is that which connects points of equal elevation. So here we have a contour line that is also an equal elevation. So it's another one to add to the group. But
sorry, Timbo, I didn't hear you properly.
Sorry, it's very quickly, but the word ISO, what he's saying is correct, but that's not the terminology used for a contour line. You don't use the word ISO if you're referring to contours. You do use ISO for creating ISO packs and a whole lot of other things, but you don't. It's not necessarily so. It's not wrong.
No,
it's just not normal.
You're
use.
right. That's not what we would normally say. You're looking at a topo. You're looking at contour lines.
Yeah.
But we're just
ISO
talking.
packs tend to be used. I was going to say we tend to use ISOs for. Well, I tend to use ISOs in my industry for differences. So you might use an ISO pack to show the difference between the design surface. Like level differences between the design surface and the existing surface to show how much material you need to remove. You might create an ISO pack or an usually coloured, not usually contours for that purpose. But yeah, so it's not that we don't use that word; we just don't use it for contour lines. It's just not
Nerd
the
Alert's
same.
helping you out there, Timbo.
Sorry, I haven't got the chat up. Keep going, Derek.
Talking about level, horizontal, but at the minute we could put in equal elevation into it, and then there's a study here. This word is great. Iso-ipsi, I think, something like that. Iso-ipsi, ipsis, something. I don't know. ISE does it best. Go on.
Iso-ipsos.
Yeah, there you go. Listen to that, and that means
That's not how you pronounce ISO.
Equal height. So
Correct.
Supposed
that's the
to be
word
one-on-one, but
that we're
he
dealing with.
allowed SE to jump in.
ISO means equal, and ipsi height. So I've got some more here. This one. This is a mathematical thing. That's a bit slightly off there, but so this is a contour line, also known as a level curve. For a given surface is the curve of an intersection with the surface of a horizontal plane.
Never heard it called that in my life.
What a level curve!
I've never heard a contour line referred to as a level curve in my life. So no. I don't know. Maybe it is somewhere else, but I've never heard it called that. Because they're not always curved.
So,
no.
A contour line is a connection of a line, a level curve, a point of equal elevation where it intersects a horizontal plane.
The only time I've noticed it,
and that's where he's messed it up, right there.
Yeah.
I missed it myself.
When he says that it intersects a horizontal plane.
I missed.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Yeah,
that's not true. Yeah,
because contour lines do not create horizontal planes.
No.
A line, a level curve, a point of equal elevation where it intersects a horizontal plane. So there's another link for the horizontal plane to the equal elevation.
Lines of equal elevation will be horizontal on an elevation profile, but in real life they do not form planes.
He's just reading that from where he's got that from. Contour lines. Don't know where he's got that from.
Because that goes back to his point B being wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he says all elevations form a horizontal plane. And that, words to that effect, and that's not true.
And then this is the mathematical graph to show you, how it works. I mean, everybody can see and knows what a contour line is, but the contour line is a line of equal elevation and where that intersects a horizontal plane. Horizontal plane, equal elevation.
Where's that bit of text come from that he's got on the screen?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering where it came from.
Well, you'll notice that he's carefully cropped it so that you can't see where he's getting this from.
Yeah.
Because this last one was from Wikipedia, but then some of this looked like it'd been typed out. So I was just curious as to where it came from. But anyway, go on.
A line of equal elevation. There you go. There's another one, an example of the contour lines, and these are like horizontal slices depicting the
depicting equal elevations of the land.
Okay, so through the put that back on. Through the
found it.
Found it?
I found it.
So that was quick.
Okay, where's that in?
My Google foo is strong. I'll put the link in Fair Suck of the Sav.
Okay, we'll grab that.
Because I was getting through I was getting through all the ones that said they represent the curve of the Earth. But anyway,
you've got to look for the images and then find where the image comes from.
okay.
That is from services.math.duke.edu. That's the page he was just. I'll put the link in. That's the page he was
Thanks,
showing.
that. I'll
No
have to
worries.
read a bit later.
Yeah, I was going to say those two graphs that we've seen, those two graphs there look awfully like they came out of a program called MATLAB.
Yeah.
Bane of my life at one point.
Yeah, we tend not to color contour lines.
I
Anyway,
can't
that's
make
just
it
me.
any.
Or I tell you what, if you go back 2 pages on that website, part 4, graphs of functions of 2 variables. Question 3: which, if any, of the following quadric surfaces are graphs of functions? Explain. Sphere, elliptical paraboloid, hyperbolic paraboloid, hyperboloid of 1 sheet, hyperboloid of 2 sheets. Yeah, no wonder he didn't want. Yes, it. No wonder he didn't want you to see what website this was.
Okay.
So there you go. So that's that one anyway.
Tell you what, that looks like a really old web page as well, doesn't it?
It does.
Looking at the design of it.
Yeah,
For a
I haven't
curve
seen
in the
anyone use that
plane.
graph.
Gee, that'd throw him off. For a curve in the plane.
It's not
But no,
curve.
he had to go to this one to read it. Contour lines.
Yeah.
Blimey. This is the Connected Curriculum Project, interactive learning materials for mathematics and its applications. Materials at this site are copyrighted 97 to 2003. Last update 10/26/11.
Wow.
This website was last touched 11 years ago.
Anyway, yeah.
Through the linking of level equal elevation, horizontal plane is also an equal elevation. You could say through this law that level is horizontal.
Did you say law?
Yeah.
I
He
think
said through this law.
I'll keep it quite simple. I
It's
mean,
not a law.
that's the basics of that particular argument, really. I mean, it's pretty simple and it's pretty self-contained within.
Yeah, it's pretty
within
wrong.
that, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yep.
level is horizontal sorted. Now,
No.
No, level isn't
No.
horizontal.
You're still just making the claim that level equals horizontal, and you haven't shown it at all because
Yeah.
you can't.
Begging the question fallacy.
Yeah.
Blue, as we say over here, do you think I could bum a fag? Because, like, I gave up in 1993, but this is driving me back to needing to smoke again.
You know what? Yeah, I haven't smoked in
almost
16
quit,
years.
I've almost quit, but I think I smoked 3 packs in the last 12 hours
Oh, no.
on account of him. Idiot. Damn.
I've got some wine in the fridge and he's finishing off. It's only 11:30 in the morning. Can I start?
I give you permission.
It's
Thank you very
5
much.
everybody.
the other argument, we've been talking about this for quite a while. We called it. We went back over it for quite a bit ago. We've got all horizontals. We called this t-shirt logic because it was the first one that we ever did. The first logical statement that we ever did to be able to simplify a if-then statement because it was a bit popular a few years back. Modus tollens, but modus tollens is an argument to the negative.
You uttered, Timber?
I just say if, even his statement is if all horizontals, it's not. That's the trouble. It's you can't prove the if. Anyway, move on.
Where you go over it. So you said it's not something. So we want it to be more positive. So we in order to build the framework of the argument, we used Euclid to show us the way to build a well-framed argument. So this is the building blocks of another argument, and you'll see the commonality with the bit before. So Euclid states proposition 30, book 1 of the elements. It states straight lines which are parallel to the same straight line are parallel to each other. Meaning that if there are two straight lines and those two straight lines are parallel to another straight line,
if they're
then
parallel,
they are parallel to each other. So you're basically saying a similar sort of statement as you were before. Two things are similar to something else, or they are the same as something else. Within geometry, you could say parallel is a similar relationship. Once you have one line parallel to the other, then they are in that similar relationship. So that's the Euclid one, and obviously that gets proved. There's a QED at the bottom. It means it's obviously provable for you to be able to do that. So the form of the argument, straight lines which are parallel to the same straight line are parallel to each other. That form of argument is obviously well backed within Euclid. So what we do with that form of argument is we relate it and change it to some sort of reality, or we link it to reality. Let me just
blah 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 blah
blah, blah. Get to the point where you're on.
There we go. So
that's absolutely nothing wrong with all that. Yeah. That's all fine.
And we have a GIF.
Those teeth.
It's if they're parallel, then everything else is parallel.
This GIF, this is what we call t-shirt logic, and the idea behind this was to make logic so simple that you could put it on a t-shirt and get people to do that process of the finishing the argument off for themselves. So this argument states, if all horizontal planes are parallel to the plane of the horizon, then all horizontal planes are parallel to one another. Now, that's the simple argument. That's the argument laid out with the way for you to check it. I mean, obviously, you can check that for yourself by
can you go from if to
looking to see if you can find a horizontal that isn't parallel to the plane of the horizon.
That's the
all
problem, Biff.
known horizontals.
Yeah. There isn't just the plane of the horizon, is there?
Yeah,
he's made this huge leap, and this is something that I've questioned him on several times, particularly in Twitter, and he won't touch it. You're saying if, and then you're going then, like if this, well, it is. Well, how did you get from A to C? Where did B go? You know, if we look at it and it is or it isn't, but you've just gone if it's this, well, it is. Well, how do you know it is?
Here's the problem, and it's buried in cleverly buried right there in plain sight in his logic, as Paul was alluding to. He assumes that there is one and only one plane of the horizon. If all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon. No, there isn't just one. There's an infinite number of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
have been, will be parallel to the plane. There's a similar relationship there. So obviously, all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, and you just check it out for definitions if you want for yourself. I could.
They're not.
I could go over some of
Paul?
these definitions. Get some.
Oh, we're going to play
Anybody
the
can do
Anthony
definition.
Riley definition game now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we go around that.
Hang on,
Don't go all the way through.
Right.
That's
Don't
how
go all the way
science is
through
done,
the-
isn't it?
Yeah, don't go all the way through it, but he gets along much further along, and he argues that the plane of the horizontal plane is there first, and then you work out the perpendicular to. So we would use the gravity vector, right? And it says no, that's not how you work out your horizontal. You work out your gravity vector, your plumb line first, even if you don't want to believe in gravity. Then your horizontal is perpendicular to the plumb line, not the other way around. That's the way surveying works.
Yeah.
That's
How do you set your auto level, your theodolite, whatever you're using? How do you set it up to begin with before you start using it?
Because that's where you got into that thing about, that's what you're doing is you're setting up the horizontal plane. I said, no, you're actually setting up your plumb line, and then you're making sure that your instrument is horizontal to that, is perpendicular to that.
Yes.
And
you set your vertical up first. Once you've established your vertical, your horizontal is 90 degrees to that. But Bev always presumes that you set your horizontal up first. Well, how do you do that? How do you set your horizontal up?
Yeah, because that's what Blue was getting onto the point about bubbles and how they're trying to find the highest point so that you can show the gravitational vector. That's how do they bubbles work?
But don't forget, as Bev said, as we watched the other day, he's not a surveyor. He's never been a surveyor. His words.
We can confirm that.
Yeah. Yes, that is sort of this.
Why is all the sight lines way up in the sky of the Blackpool Tower?
Yeah, that's.
It's up on a hill somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think he quite gets why that's bad for him. But anyway.
Yeah, I took some screenshots of them. The Blackpool
So
Tower.
if he's measuring, there's obviously a slope in the beach. Let's assume that the level is set up correctly.
Yeah, well, there's that. Well, that's the first one, where the sight line.
Yeah. Now move over to the other ones. We all know about that one. That's so obvious. That one.
Yeah.
The beach ones. If we assume that the level is set up correctly, and that the beach is sloping down some 5 meters from the level position, then what height is that level line at the horizon? Is he suggesting that if you went out to where the horizon was, that it would only be 5 meters above that horizon? I very much doubt it. So, yeah. Unfortunately, there's nothing out there for reference. But and the other problem is, if the level is horizontal and the water is horizontal, why do you see so much of the water? We see so much of the water because it's curving around. But if you got it close to it, it should be much less of it visible. Anyway, that one's a bit harder to prove without lots of nice diagrams.
Well, I think my video destroyed him totally.
It did. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. The Blackpool one is so much better because you got that nice Blackpool Tower in the distance to show exactly what. Obviously, that's why you realised in the future you wouldn't have Blackpool Tower in his pictures.
I would like to have seen the look on his face when I pulled Euclid up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, well, I'll just get rid of that. Yeah, I took
That's
a screenshot.
just bullshit. There's nothing there. even worth talking about. You're looking at some hugely miraged bullshit in the background.
Yeah, with no reference to no.
Yeah, you can't make any
anything.
sense out of this.
There's nothing up there to sort of how far away is it or anything. I think.
All I was interested in is what that line was that went across.
That's the crosshair. That's the horizontal crosshair in the auto level.
Yeah, but it's above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a,
So whoever set the theodolite up knew what they were doing.
but it's not the other level.
Level. Sorry.
We don't know.
That's not the point.
We don't know. We can only assume that it's level, and it's most, they're not hard to set up, so I'd assume that it's got to be close to level.
Well, either his auto level is broken, or he's not on a flat surface.
Well, it's definitely not on a flat surface. It's got to have a big slope to give that result.
Blue grabbed that one too, did you, Blue? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I don't know whereabouts that one was in the conversation. Somebody did that.
It just has no context. It's like, what are you trying to prove? I think some argument about, the horizontal not meeting the horizon or whatever it is, that the whole
Oh, that's right. I threw that one in. I think the conversation there might have been interesting, if you could call it that.
Goes to show that they are actually the same thing in the most fundamental axiom within Euclidean geometry and the transitive law of equality. Right? It's a basic thing, and even you agree that level is an equal elevation and horizontal is an equal elevation.
No, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree that a horizontal has an equal elevation?
No, it doesn't. I showed that. You showed that.
Well, a horizontal to me definitely has an equal elevation. There's no slope. There's no tilt. And all, I state, are still all perpendiculars to a horizontal plane will be vertical.
You brought no evidence for any of that, Bill. Not a bit. Nothing.
Okay. Well, that's something we can get into. Evidence for vertical and horizontal being perpendicular. We can get on it. Evidence for a horizontal plane to be established in reality. We can ask people. Anybody can ask anybody if that's possible.
Oh, do it yourself.
We also can go over the implications of the drop and the hump, which we didn't go into today.
There is no hump.
I'm trying to, but I know it can be another debate, right?
I know.
Rumpus is going to have a do with that. And other people obviously have to do with that. We know that there is no hump, and we know that because all horizontals are parallel to each other. We
never said there was a hump either. You guys have just made that up.
We
don't call it a hump. Nobody does.
I know. Yeah, diletheism causes all sorts of things, but you do think there's a drop.
Yes.
Yes. But you do have a sagitta also.
If you
seem to forget about Rakir's bridge.
If you draw a chord line, you can have a sagitta.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a hump.
What
hump? My God.
What hump?
It's a hump.
Yeah, there's no hump.
Bill.
Yes. A vertical
not the way
change.
You guys try to present it. It is not a hump.
It's a vertical change.
It is not.
Measured.
Just a moment.
No, it's not.
Level is level. If you're at sea level
is horizontal.
If you're at sea level, that is falling away from a horizontal. It's falling away from you in every direction. You're standing on top of a ball.
Water levels don't fall away, though. We know how
Sure
water flows. No,
Sure
no,
they do.
we know
Compared to
how
a
water
horizontal,
flows.
sure they do. And Rockia's bridge proved it. 90 feet. You stand in the center of that bridge, either end of it is falling away from you by 90 feet.
So you're standing on the hump.
There's no hump. You're
But
standing
you
on
just
top
said
of a
that it's
sphere.
falling away at either side.
You're
Of
standing
course
top.
you're on the
Can you
hump.
not imagine a sphere, a basketball?
With you standing at the top of the hump.
Any point on it. On the side of it.
You standing on the side of a ball.
Stick a straight edge on the...
Come on. Can you do that? Does anybody get a video of that?
Stick a straight edge any place you want to on a ball, Bev, and the ball is only, the straight edge is only touching the ball at one point.
Let's, can you stand on the side of a ball?
I can stand on the side of a real big one, yeah.
Can you?
I'm doing it right now.
Sorry. Can we put the camera on? Let's have a look at that.
Standing on the earth, Bev. That's a really big ball.
You're standing up, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're not on the side of a ball, are you?
Yeah. Depending on what you want to call the side, but...
You imagine you're standing on the side of a ball.
Any point you want to pick, you can call the top, the side, the bottom, anything you want to call it. It's all the same.
This is the universal down problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So can you imagine your vertical being at an angle?
My vertical is not at an angle. My vertical is straight down to the center of the earth. Straight down. Vertical always is like that.
With the tilt?
Only with respect to another vertical.
So the only way you can know a tilt of a vertical is when you reference it to another vertical.
Yes, there you go. That's how you can measure it. That's the only way you can see it.
Does that work the same for horizontals too?
Well, let's think about that, Bev. If horizontals are perpendicular to verticals, what do you think?
Equipotential angle of adjustment for the win.
I have no idea what that
already
word
been there.
salad is.
I know.
I have no idea what
You've
that
not
word
thought
salad's
about
all
this
about.
enough. The equipotential angle of adjustment.
Well, that you guys are good at making up bullshit, so whatever.
Well, that was George, actually.
Really?
God bless his soul. Yeah, yeah.
I think George might have been having a little fun with you boys. All right, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, there we go.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
I can't find that equipotential angle. Anyway. I'm just trying to find that reference.
Doesn't exist.
There is referring to the electromagnetic curves, lines of force, but I don't know if it's a crap or what. I'll have to look into that one.
I'm gonna put my presentation out as a standalone video, I think, and so everybody can see that too.
Yeah.
You only saw Bev's bullshit. I killed him with mine.
Yep.
I thought it's funny. You might not watching a Discord chat, but they're sort of saying, "Oh, Bev's playing a video, and it's meant to be one-on-one," and it's sort of like, well, what difference does it make if you play a video or sit there and spoke about it? It's the same thing. It's uninterrupted. Yeah. I didn't bother chatting.
How many debates have there been when, as their opening introduction, somebody plays a video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
No.
No.
I did find a bit so frustrated. I didn't bother making any comments in their chat because first thing they did, as soon as anybody put anything positive towards you, Blue, they said, "Oh, white knight in blue," blah blah blah. That's all.
Don't you dare show support.
Show support.
They all show support for Bev, but as soon as somebody shows support for Blue, no, that's a big no.
Well, I was wondering if I was going to get chipped on all the things I was posting in this live chat.
Well, they did delete a few people's comments, but that wasn't surprising. That they were...
Bev yelled out, "Oh, do you like that picture, Terry, of the beach?" I'm not posting it for the reason you think I am, Bev.
No.
Yeah. So that was a little bit frustrating, but not unexpected. But if their channel, they want to run it that way, they can run it that way.
Oh, he's got his disciples, and they're going to defend him to the death. You know that. So, no problem.
Yeah.
But I will put mine out since avoid people that would like to hear maybe something like that, not having to listen to Bev's bullshit in the middle of it.
An alternative, at least.
I feel like giving Lindsay a miss. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to have.
Oh no!
Oh God!
What?
But I need to go and make a cup of tea.
Make a cup of tea. Because actually, hang on a minute. It might be preferable listening to Lindsay over Bev. But well, no, you're fine if you don't.
Well, I had two videos that I could have played. One was the basics of physics you are not meant to see, and I was going to leave. Where is it? Euclid's fifth postulate has been manipulated.
Oh.
That was his latest one from 3 days ago. Or both of them are for 3 days ago. One runs for 30 minutes and one runs for 14 minutes.
For 30 minutes? Don't you mean 27 minutes?
No, he can now do 30 minutes. Well, he does 29 minutes and 59 seconds off quite a few times.
Yeah. He must be stretching out that memory card, yeah. Well, seeing as he's only got 2 lately, so we might be able to catch up.
Dora really wants to have Lindsay.
We'll put a vote. We'll get a vote going.
Lindsay or bust? I'd rather have a bust. No, hang on.
I've got some of them for you.
Whose bust are we talking about? Yeah, I'm sure Paul can oblige when he does his quiz.
I will.
Good man. Good man. I can rely on you.
I've got some lovely ones ready.
No, just let the peanuts know. Because I was up so early this morning. I'm feeling a bit tired now. So we won't go for 4 hours like we usually do.
Fair play.
So yeah, if we
you haven't been to sleep in the meantime, have you?
Yeah, well, I went down the shed to tinker on the old wagon all afternoon, so that's probably worn me out a little bit too.
Yeah.
What, Terry? So you expect me to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning and then get up early the next day?
but you get up at the crack of dawn.
Oh.
I do get up at the crack of dawn. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Who's dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's you got to do with
it?
Yeah. I've never woken up at the crack of dawn.
That would make me run.
Okay. What are we doing then, Terry?
So come on, Terry. What are we doing?
We'll do quiz.
Right,
How long does the quiz usually last for, roughly? An hour?
No, I don't reckon it'll go that long.
No.
Well, I'm allowing an hour for that, and then we finish finish off with a Simon Dan and one other video.
It's Fred. There's Fred.
Come on, 5 minutes to fill so I can make a cup of tea.
Wait, let Alan make a cup of tea.
Yeah, okay. Go and make your cup of Alan. I mean, I could always. Okay.
Oh, Lidsey or bust. Yep, easy choice.
Bust.
Well, I can't see it at the moment because I've got Discord covering it. So.
Oh, you don't get many of them to
Why
have.
has it done that?
Why has it done what?
What'd you do?
I haven't got the internal chat up for some reason.
Yeah. Got to chase it sometimes.
I might have to stop sharing for a moment. And
It's sometimes hidden on the page, and you got to wander your cursor over the page, and it comes up.
get
That's
the
when I've done the chat. So I found I had to do that.
get the internal chat up.
I'm just reading the titles of Anton's videos this week. Strange black holes.
There we go. I have the internal chat up.
Hey.
Hey.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. That's nice.
You're going to go practice your stepping lunges now. Has Alan come back with his cup of tea yet, or is he still waiting?
No, it'll be a while yet.
Ah.
Oh no, we'll just have to look at this for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see a thing. I'm still looking over into Discord.
Well, that's your problem, isn't it?
I've got my eyes closed, just so you know.
I haven't.
All right. Well, I suppose we can't keep Terry up all night, can we?
So you're saying up? Did you say?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh dear. Let me shift that out of the way. All right. Eberhard Grun measured the distribution in sizes in this substance. What substance did he measure the distribution in sizes of?
Oh, Christ.
No.
No idea. No.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
Venetia Burney names a device used to detect this substance, which was collected in the first phase of the Tan-Popo experiment.
Oh, that one.
What did they collect in that experiment? Not cookies or rolled oats or horizontals. One of this substance's components is abbreviated GEMS. What is this stuff?
Gems.
Yeah. Okay. A perfect fluid modeled as a configuration of this substance with vanishing pressure is a namesake solution to the Einstein field equations. What is this stuff? It's not ether bubbles, not Flerf brain cells. Impossible, Clive Wells, no. Okay. A NASA probe launched in 1999 collected this substance using silica aerogel. What did they collect? Not Sunday roasts.
I put an answer, but I don't think that's what you call it.
Well, yeah, you'd kind of be right there, Timbo, but what kind of that? This substance loses angular momentum due to radiation pressure in the Poynting-Robertson effect. The guessing continues. That'd be right, Timbo.
Oh, really? I thought it'd be some more technical name.
Yeah, there is a more technical name, but I'll accept what you've written. I'd give Clive Wells the right answer too.
Really?
This substance scatters sunlight to produce zodiacal light. Yeah. Interstellar reddening occurs due to scattering by this substance, which makes up the interstellar medium along with gas and cosmic rays. Name this substance made up of particles in outer space.
Yep.
It is space dust, as Timbo Turtle said, or, more correctly, cosmic dust.
Cosmic dust. Okay.
Yeah. Not just space dust, cosmic dust.
Well, that makes us better, that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
All right.
Yeah.
So wouldn't the vacuum of space suck it all up?
No, the cord's not long enough.
That's why it's in the vacuum of space, because the vacuum of space has sucked it up.
Oh, okay.
The Split Apple Rock is located in a bay named for this man near a national park, due south of the Farewell Spit. Who is this man?
Henry, the mild-mannered janitor. Oh, no,
No.
that was Hong Kong Phooey, sorry.
Yeah. Another national park named for this man contains a dolerite sea stack called the Totem Pole. Not Hudson Bay, no.
What, named after Rock Hudson? Why not?
The volcano remnant Ball's Pyramid, located in a sea named for this man, known colloquially as the Ditch. Who is this man? Which sea is named the Ditch?
Not that one?
Yeah. Do you know his first name, Timbo?
Mister?
They call me Mr. Tim.
Yeah, I do actually. I think it's this.
It is, except not spelt like that.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course
The
not.
population of an animal native to a region named for this man has been ravaged by a namesake facial tumour disease and is the largest carnivorous marsupial in the world.
Yeah, I know the clue. I've just got to figure it out now.
Yeah. I'll give you a chance, Terry.
Oh, bugger. Sorry.
Alan's got it right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This man names the sea that contains Lord Howe Island and the largest glacier on the South Island. You got it yet, Terry?
Yeah, I'm getting
it. Are you typing or are you just still getting it?
I was trying to think. An
island named for this man contains the Bay of Fires and a rainforest called the Tarkine.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
who is it, Terry?
That's supposed to be to.
That's the one. That's the one, Terry. Yep. And well done to who was it? Clive Wells, who got it first out there.
I think his
Abel Tasman.
First name is. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, it's Abel, A-B-E-L, not A-B-L-E. He might have been Abel, but
Abla.
you know, yeah, Abla. Hobart is the capital of an island named for this man, formerly called Van Diemen's Land. What 17th century Dutch explorer names an island state of Australia? It is this bloke who is Abel Tasman.
Tasman.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Question 3. Andrew Erdman wrote a 2004 book about the sexually charged nature of these no longer extant events.
Mm.
What sexually charged events was he talking about?
What do you mean extant? I don't know what that would mean.
Dino orgies. Not dino orgies, no. Louis B. Mayer encouraged Italian immigrants to attend these non-film events at the garlic box. What were they? Timbo Turtle, full moon. No.
Yeah, because we don't get them anymore.
Flattoberfest? No.
Scottish architect Benny Pritiker designed neoclassical Pantages Greek style buildings for these events. What were they? Not FE conferences, not the Olympics, not dancing. A rule of thumb for these events stated that if they could succeed in Peoria, they could succeed anywhere. What were they? Okay.
Why do I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue?
Tony Pastor was the dean of these events, which travelled on circuits such as the BF Keith. What are these events? Not state fairs. Right. Managers of these events sent notes on politeness standards in blue envelopes. What are these events? Not circuses, Alan. No. Not gladiator fights. No.
Blue envelopes.
These entertainment events largely replaced the minstrel show in popularity and were themselves eclipsed by motion pictures. Not tent revivals? No. Identify these variety shows with a French name that were popular in turn-of-the-century America.
French name. Oh, maybe? I'm probably misspelling this completely wrong.
Not burlesque, Timbo. But we do have a correct... We do have it. That's the one, Farmer's Boy, yeah. And Fred Knotts out there was the first to get it. Well done, Fred Knotts. It is vaudeville shows.
Vaudeville.
Vaudeville.
Yeah. That was a hard one, huh?
That was.
That's tricky.
Yeah. All right, question 4. A configuration, named for this scientist, in which 3 collinear masses orbit their center of mass, is an unstable solution to the 3-body problem. Some equations named for this scientist, which give rise to the Holhode curve, when visualized using Poinsot's construction, feature terms like I sub 3 minus I sub 2, all times omega 2, omega 3. Who is this bloke? Oh, Terry. Terry comes out with the right answer.
Wow, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Terry got it right, did he?
Terry blitzed it.
Well,
the rate of change of angular velocity crossed with position gives this scientist's namesake acceleration. Who is it? It's not Whitsitt. No. It's not Jose. Not Kepler.
I got no idea why I remembered that. I must have my memory must be getting better.
Yeah. Okay. This scientist's namesake equations describe the rotation of a rigid body, which can be conveniently described using the scientist's namesake angles.
Well, the first clue gave it away, Paul.
Yeah, it did, sort of, because I was talking to you about that earlier.
Shush, the peanuts weren't supposed to know that.
No, but I didn't give you any of these clues. I'm still surprised you got it, because I didn't give you any of these clues.
Oh, okay.
This scientist co-names the equations of the calculus of variations with Joseph Louis Lagrange. Name this scientist whose ubiquitous namesake constant equals about 2.718 and is denoted E. So, no, Terry, you didn't quite get it right. Sorry to disappoint. But Clive Wells did out there. It was, in fact, Euler. Yeah. Leonard Euler. Okay, question 5. This actress legendarily inspired Grace Kelly's character in Rear Window via her affair with Robert Capa. Who is this? Which actress? This actress left the US after Senator Edwin C. Johnson referred to her as a free love cultist. Who was it? This actress had to break up a kiss every 3 seconds for a 2.5-minute scene with Cary Grant in Alfred Hitchcock's Notorious. Who was it? Not Farrah Fawcett. Not Angela Lansbury. No.
Notorious was.
Not Betty Davis.
No.
Terry, no. The problems of a character played by this actress are compared to a hill of beans in a monologue by a man who has done the thinking for both of us. Who is it? Not Lauren Call. Not Great Garbo.
Great Garbo.
Not Greta Garbo either.
I think it's Sophia Loren.
No.
I got a surname there, but I'm not sure that's right.
Yeah. And as usual, you've spelt the surname incorrectly.
Well, that's how you know I'm not cheating.
This actress starred in the films Stromboli and Journey to Italy, both directed by her second husband, Roberto Rossellini. Not Lady Gaga, not Lucille Ball. Catchlights were used to make this actress's eyes sparkle as she told, "We'll always have Paris, and here's looking at you, kid, on a Moroccan airfield." Who was it?
Oh, I can't think of her bloody name.
That's the right one, Timbo. But not quite spelt right.
Not the surname, but the first name, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Name this actress who starred alongside Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. Anyone know out there?
I've only ever seen her in black and white, so I assume she does have colour.
It is this woman. Do you know
that
who
person.
this is? Yeah, who is it?
No, still can't remember.
That's the one. That's the one, Spooky Betty. Well done. It is Ingrid Bergman.
Didn't get it out quick enough.
A before my time. B, not my sort of film.
Yeah.
But other than that.
In 2021, that would be last year, Kay et al. Developed an 11-step artificial anabolic pathway to produce this compound from carbon dioxide.
That's a nice
What compound? Yeah.
What load of anabolics? Oh.
Artificial.
Yeah. When this compound is suspended in water, it forms a non-Newtonian fluid called oobleck. Do you know what this is?
No.
Not diamond. The components of this compound realign themselves as it cools in a process called retrogradation. Not graphene. Not dilithium. Not grease or pancakes. This is the primary compound found in surface sizing solutions.
Not custard, not chicken.
Do you know what I mean by sizing? What is sizing a surface? They used to size the skins of things like aeroplanes and zeppelins.
Yeah.
We call it
the
doping.
intermolecular bonds between molecules of this compound are broken down in gelatinization. Not chicken, not custard, not avocado oil. This compound can form dextrins when heated. Oh, we've got a correct answer by Big Blue and by Larry DeMarch. It is, in fact, starch. Well done.
Wow.
This compound forms a dark blue or black complex with triiodide. This compound, made up of amylose and amylopectin, can be broken down into maltose by beta amylase. Name this polymer of glucose connected by alpha glycosidic bonds, which plants use for energy storage. That should have given it away.
Yeah.
It is starch.
I thought starch when you said sizing solution. I thought, no, that's just one way of doing doping. And I thought,
starch, yeah. All right, question 7. In 1996, a market next to this river was found to be selling the meat of a rock rat whose family was previously unknown to science. What river? Just think, what kind of countries would they sell things like rock rats in? The 4,000 Islands archipelago is in this river, which provides the north and east borders of the region of Isan, which includes the Korat Plateau. It's not Denial. It's not the Amazon. It's not the Thames. Not the Ganges.
I think it's in that country.
A giant catfish native to this river is threatened by hydropower development like the Zayaburi Dam.
I haven't spotted anything close. Nothing close to correct, but it sounds like it. Hang on, that's not even close. How does it pronounce it?
Timbo Turtle. Yeah, you're right, Timbo, but as usual, you have misspelled it. But you were beaten out there by Larry DeMarch, who got it correct the first time. The Mekong River.
Mekong.
Yeah.
Mekong.
Not Megong.
Yeah.
Mekong,
I know
Timbo.
I know it wasn't pronouncing it right, and I'm thinking, go on, keep going.
This river's confluence with the Ruak River is the centre of a drug-producing region called the Golden Triangle. This river is known as the Langkang in a region where it flows generally south of the other two of the 3 rivers of Tibet. The Tonle Sap flows into this major river, which flows through Vientiane and Phnom Penh before reaching Ho Chi Minh City.
Ho Chi Minh.
The border between Laos and Thailand follows what massive river of Southeast Asia? It is the Mekong River. Yeah. Question 8. This quantity corresponds to $0 using a unit named by Louis Slotin. What is this quantity?
There you go. That's a good answer.
Broke. No. A formula for this quantity, which incorporates a fudge factor to account for geometric effects, was the first major application of Monte Carlo methods. What is this quantity?
Arnott's biscuits. That's where you get Monte Carlos from.
Yeah, Monte Carlo biscuits, yeah.
This quantity can be reduced in the SSTAR design using a beryllium reflector. What is this quantity? Overall money, my bank account. No. This quantity is reached when the terms in the six-factor formula multiply to 1. Accidentally exceeding this quantity led to multiple lethal excursions involving the Demon Corps. What is this quantity? I'll give it to Alan Evans, but you were beaten out there by Nerd Alert, who actually has the real correct term of critical mass.
Okay.
Yeah, this quantity corresponds to the value of 1 for the effective neutron multiplication factor. Exceeding this quantity will lead to an exponential increase in the rate of fission. A bare sphere of uranium-235 has a value of 52 kilograms for this quantity. Name this minimum mass of fuel required to sustain a nuclear chain reaction. It is the critical mass.
Yeah.
Question 9. The world's largest one of these devices was built at Portland State University in 2013 using especially low-density pump oil. What did they build? The unexplained addition of a micro one of these devices to the Galaxy Nexus was meant to allow for faster GPS locking. What is this thing?
Very cool.
No idea. No clue.
Not a neutrino detector, no. A classic physics urban legend involves someone timing one of these devices as it falls from a building during a job interview. Not a gyroscope, Timbo, no. Goethe sometimes names a type of these devices in which a sealed container of water is attached to an open spout. What kind of devices are these? Not a stockbroker, not an accelerometer. What kind of detector, Dora?
That's
not the
right,
world's
that's
largest Foucault pendulum. No, not a destruction laser. But Dora has recovered her poise to take the question and give the answer of a barometer, which is correct. As they both fundamentally measure the same quantity, these devices are basically equivalent to the usual type of altimeter. Labels like change, fair, and dry can be added to the aneroid type of these devices, which are often used for weather prediction. A reading in torrs or pascals is given by what device used to measure pressure. It is, of course, a barometer. Well done, Dora.
Yeah, I got one of them.
And your last. Yep, you got one of them in.
I got one of them down the shed. I use it.
Question 10. It's not murder, but a third of all people hanged in London between 1800 and 1818 were found guilty of this crime, which was sometimes engaged in by shovers. Wow. A third of all people hanged in London were found guilty of this crime.
Yeah,
what was it?
That must be quite something.
Well, we used to get sent over here for
pickpocketing,
stealing a
Alan.
loaf of bread, so
Yeah.
not jaywalking. No. In the Roman era, people engaging in this crime might be caught with objects called fories. Not pickpocketing, not grave robbers. No.
Just put that in there.
Not flurfism. Reeded edges are often used to protect against a type of this crime known as clipping.
Ah,
That should give it away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not horse theft.
It's
Not
to,
cat burglars.
it's to do with that.
Yeah, but what about it?
Yeah, they.
Well, yeah.
It's to do.
It's more than just that, though, Alan. That's one method of doing it, Alan. But yeah. Okay. A massive instance of this crime involving super objects may have been orchestrated by the North Korean government. Not gambling, no.
Need to type better.
George Floyd was killed after being accused of engaging in this crime by Cup Foods. Fighting this crime was the original mission of the US Secret Service. That's the one, Alan Evans, yes. But you were beaten out there by Fred Knotts, who got it first. It is counterfeiting.
Mm.
Oh, God.
In 2005, the EFF exposed code to guard against this crime in software written by Xerox. Name this crime that would involve photocopying greenbacks. It is counterfeiting.
Yeah, I knew the George Floyd connection and the US Secret Service. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was your hard quiz for today. And it was a hard one today.
Yeah.
It was a toughie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for that, Paul.
Well done, Paul. That's good.
Well, I've got 3 Antons to pick from, but I don't know which one. That one, or that one. I'll share them in here that way. I'll share them in here that way you can see the titles. I'm picking one. Rare hidden black hole reveals itself by destroying a star, but something doesn't add up.
That'd be Flurfers. They can't add up.
Yeah,
that's true.
Scientists discover what turned Venus into hell and why Earth survived. Okay. Strangest black hole collision ever seen turns out to be even more extreme. I think I'm favouring the what turned Venus into what it is. I'm favouring that one.
What? Runaway global warming?
Because the Flurfers got in charge on that planet?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that one. And get rid of that one.
Hello, wonderful person.
No, Everett's got flat Earth proven by flies.
Oh yeah. Clearly.
What's a space mat lurking out there? You gonna tell me to press play, space mat? Oh, he says hold on, I'm coming in. Oh, jeez. How long is he gonna be?
4'6".
He did this the other day, didn't he? He turned up nearly 3/4 or whatever towards the end of the show.
Yeah. Shocking behaviour.
Well, does he try to miss out on the quiz or something, does he?
Nah, I think he was just tired. He wasn't well.
Oh, wasn't he? Oh, that's no good.
No. I'm suspecting the same. Sleeping, trying to recover. That is a very scary face.
Isn't it just?
I wonder if he plays the banjo.
Well, little piggy.
Deliverance. That was
Yep. I pretty much got there, boy.
Dora says, did you see your shout out on McToon's calling in this morning? Does Terry know your redemption? What?
Who, what, when, what, who, what?
Dora's asking you, did you see
Me?
your shout out on
I was there.
McToon's calling in this morning?
No, I didn't because I was there.
But it says, does Terry know your redemption?
And it was Tuesday, wasn't it? Or your Wednesday?
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was before last episode. Oh, this Tuesday, yeah. And then I got in trouble, Dora. I didn't. Even though I called it out, I still got tips on next time. Let's put it that way.
Well, I could see that. I could see the tune was allowing you to have the mic for however long you wanted it for.
Well, I didn't realise that's what it's going to do, and then I thought, oh, now what am I going to say?
He put you in a spot. He put you in a spot, didn't he?
Yeah. And then afterwards, I thought, oh, what I should have done, which Alan would absolutely
You could have rambled
hated.
on about anything to do with the stream,
or
anything to do with that.
I thought later on I should have put FTE on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got FTE as a puppet. And I could have said, FTE is, says that we should have watched Terry's stream. FTE, come on.
Oh, here he is.
There we go. Here he is.
Here he is.
2 years long enough.
Sorry.
Still not here.
Oh, Timbo, you spoiled it.
What
Terry?
did I spoil?
Terry?
We'll go quiet to make Matt think that his mic wasn't working.
I knew what was going on. You played this trick many times before. Hey, Terry?
Yes, Matt. Where's your late note?
You want to press play?
Okay. Then you can give me your late note.
Okay.
Now, if I had a fly in here and I spun this ball Do you think the fly could land on this ball while it's spinning?
I'm the only one who knows
Probably
the truth about what's really
Probably
going
could,
on, even though everyone thinks I'm
Wanted to.
crazy.
And walk around on it and not fall off while it's still spinning like this? The fly would fling off
Yeah,
it.
probably.
Well, it ain't really not that.
Further
It does
study
look
is
crap.
needed.
Why didn't the invisible
Yeah.
gravity hold the fly to the ball while it's spinning and the fly can just walk around on it and do what it wants to do?
Nice. Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
Well, apparently we all are sitting on a side of a wall of a mountain on a ball, and we all seem to be walking around okay.
Uh-huh. Let me run this by you because you're a sharp guy.
And this thing's spinning this fast, 1,000 miles an hour, at 66,000 miles an hour chasing a star ball.
I think that's spinning a little bit faster than 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And NASA can't come up with a video and show us all live
Imagine
on
how quick
TV.
nighttime and daytime it'd be.
Your telescope in space, pointing at the Earth, showing
Oh,
us
daytime.
chasing
No,
a
nighttime.
fireball like a mosquito.
My God. Poor guy got hit so hard he reverted to being a baby.
Checkmate. Reason why they won't show you because the Earth is flat.
Does that make any sense?
Nah.
No.
I can't believe how
since they
stupid
did
and
show
dumb
what
I
you
was myself.
Looks like some things never change.
You see what happens when you think for yourself? You become a lot smarter and intelligent.
If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great.
You start to actually have a clear mind.
What are you talking about, Willis?
But when you start thinking like NASA wants us to think, that's why your head's spinning, Val. Spinning full of their rubbish.
But hey, who am I to talk?
They get paid 65 million a day to talk rubbish. And I don't even ask for $1 to speak truth and educate you.
To talk
Well,
rubbish.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's a great weight off my mind.
The ones that
Bricktop.
need to know the education of it.
Thank you.
Sir.
I'll get it together. I promise.
Seriously? And I haven't fallen off and gotten dizzy yet. Oh, because of that invisible gravity, that's right.
Have you lost your damn mind?
And all this water can seem to stick to it.
We'll have to take him with us. Take him where? In search of his brain doctor.
I mean, you look, 1,000 miles an hour, this thing's spinning.
The wheels are turning up here at all times.
Seriously? Come on. You seriously believe this bullshit?
Well, what do you think?
I think you're nuts.
Yeah.
Strange clip that.
Embarrassed to be Australian with that guy.
Can somebody
Yeah.
please reassure me? Please reassure me that he didn't breed. Please tell me.
No, we
You
can't.
probably
We
did.
we cannot give that guarantee to
Oh
you.
God.
I hate
think
to say
not.
it, but actually,
I think it's
I hate to say it, I
against.
actually think it's getting more of them.
I think it's against the
No,
law.
they are breeding them.
Yeah, I think it's against the law to for people like that to breed.
But no,
Is that-
it isn't. It isn't, but it should be.
Yeah.
Is that the definition of a bogan? Is it?
No, I think a bogan's a bit more upper class than him.
Yeah, no, Bogan's, yeah, that's not a Bogan. I wouldn't call him a Bogan.
Yeah, that'd be an insult to bogans if we called him a bogan.
Yeah, Bogans aren't that bad. Unfortunately, I do think they are getting more and more of those sort of people down here. But I do think it's a bit of a.
But I think the TikTok thing's not helping.
So that, you know, they,
Go
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Matt, can you say something?
I mean, this is
because I want to talk over top here. Because
I could do that as well, you know.
You could.
So be careful. This is the problem. This is the problem with using 1,000 miles an hour when you're talking about rotation. You know, and this is what it boils down to. So they get hold of a small little globe and they think spinning it around really fast is trying to get it to go 1,000 miles an hour. And it's the problem using linear speeds. And I think Fleurs do that on purpose, obviously.
By the time I got up in the morning, it'd be time to go to bed again if it was spinning that fast.
About half a second a day.
Half a second a day.
Or even. Nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime.
You just stay in bed.
And you wouldn't need to do time lapse of star trails. You just look up in the sky and see the star trails.
Hell yeah!
Stars freaking fast.
Yeah.
I was watching a documentary last night about our galaxy and the fastest known year, I think, and a planet. I can't remember. It was a Kepler, one of the Kepler ones, anyway. Had a daytime of a year. That's a year of 7 minutes. That's right. It's a rotation around the sun. I don't know what its rotation was, though. I'm not sure
what a day was.
Yeah, I'm not sure what day was, but yeah, its year was 7 minutes.
Because 7 minutes. Some of the days wow.
Yeah, 7 minutes for its full rotation around its star.
Because it's quite common, or not common, but not unusual for some planets to have a day longer than a year.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And their rotational velocity as well.
Yeah, there was another one that did talk about its rotation, and I can't remember what that was. I'm not sure. Don't know.
Yeah. Poor old Pluto still hasn't done a year since we discovered its existence.
Yeah.
And then said it was not good enough.
Allowed to be a planet anymore.
Downgraded.
How many times does the planet Earth rotate in 1 year?
Around what?
Rotate? Around its axis?
365.
No.
In a quarter?
No.
What? In a year?
Think about it. Every day it actually does a little bit more than one rotation.
Yeah.
Because it's the sidereal and the other type of day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It actually rotates 366.
Yeah.
Oh, I was out one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one is important.
Oh, Brimpondle's getting technical there. 365.25.
No, that's you're saying 366, which I said 365 and a quarter.
Yeah, if you forget about the quarter and don't quibble about the quarter, then it's one more than the number of days in it.
Here we go.
You want to unmute Terry and then press play.
Unmute Terry.
Unmute Terry. Yeah, unmute Anton.
Okay, I'll unmute. How about I unmute Anton?
Yeah, unmute Anton and then press play, Terry.
Okay. I'll press the any key.
Hello, wonderful person. This is Anton, and today we're going to try to tackle a question that's been bugging scientists for a pretty long time. The question in regards to the evolution of planets like Venus and Earth. Because as we know, both planets sort of started like this billions of years ago, and at some point, Venus probably looked like this. Yet over time, it changed dramatically, turning into something a little bit more inhospitable to any kind of life, with ridiculously high temperatures and very high pressures on the surface. Yet Earth didn't. Earth didn't just remain hospitable, but actually improved its conditions over time, leading to the evolution of complex life. So what exactly happened between these two planets, and why did one turn into something like Venus, yet one remained very hospitable? Now, we've discussed some of these ideas in the past, and actually many of these ideas are based on some of these papers, like this one right here, that you can find in the description below, that do actually discuss the possibility of Venus being the first habitable world in the solar system. But in a nutshell, the main conclusion from most of these studies result in a relatively similar conclusion and a relatively simple answer. Volcanoes. But not just any kind of a volcano. A very specific type of a volcano that doesn't really exist on Earth right now, but has existed many times before. A volcano that actually kind of resembles what you see on this hypothetical planet. And also the types of volcanoes we know existed on many other objects, including the moon, visible as these dark patches on the surface. These are known as the mare. And here we're talking about a type of a volcanic eruption known as LIP, which stands for Large Igneous Province. This image right here points at some of the very well-known LIPs on the planet, with many of them actually being really large in size. For example, one of the larger ones, Siberian Traps that you see right there, very likely resulted in one of the largest extinction events on the planet, with the slightly smaller one, Deccan Traps, also being associated with the extinction of dinosaurs and actually followed the collision from the asteroid, both of which very likely led to the extinction event. And so unlike typical volcanic eruptions, such as the one you see right here, or the one we got to witness in January of 2022, when Tonga eruption occurred, LIPs would be a little bit more difficult to imagine, but they essentially would be huge in area and would also be active for thousands or possibly even millions of years, in the process releasing huge amounts of gas, which almost always dramatically affects the atmosphere, which in the past almost always led to some kind of a dramatic change in the biosphere, very often extinction events. As a matter of fact, the majority of major extinction events that happened in the last 500 million years were all directly correlated with the occurrence of some kind of an LIP, with only one of them being potentially caused by an asteroid, in this case the one that killed the dinosaurs. But as I mentioned, it also involved an LIP not so long afterwards, so it was probably a combination of both. And so in other words, these were usually very long periods of volcanism lasting at least a few thousand years on average, resulting in a deposition of hundreds of thousands of cubic miles of various types of volcanic rock on the surface, which is why they're called igneous provinces. And the last one that happened on the planet is the one known as the Columbia River Basalt Group. This is located in the northwest part of the US, and it very likely lasted for a few million years, and potentially occurred even twice, with this very likely resulting in some kind of a shift of the biosphere as well, but it's not entirely clear how exactly it changed the conditions. Although intriguingly, the hotspot from this activity is still kind of going on in US right now as well. That's essentially the Yellowstone supervolcano. The plume, or the hotspot in this case, moved a little bit to the northeast, but over time also weakened quite dramatically. And so the Yellowstone National Park is basically the culmination of that last LIP that happened on planet Earth. It wasn't really that dramatic though, and it wasn't really that big. But it did create huge basaltic provinces that can be visible across the northwest part of the US. And in the last few years, the scientists were able to directly track exactly how the plume progressed, with the influence of the hotspot visible in this particular image, which is essentially how the scientists today believe these particular igneous provinces very likely work. Underneath the crust, there is some kind of a hotspot that results in huge eruptions that last for thousands of years. But like the typical hotspots we have today, like the ones in Hawaii or Iceland, the hotspots that form the large igneous provinces are very likely a result of an extremely large emission of magma that seems to occur occasionally, but then dissipates over time. Although the actual mechanism is still a little bit unclear, mostly because we don't really have any current examples to look at. And judging by the effects these particular events had, we probably don't want to have one anytime soon. But what does this have to do with ancient Earth and ancient Venus? Well, we know these definitely existed on Venus as well. There's actually quite a lot of evidence based on the radar photography of the surface. For example, the volcano Ma'at Mons that you see right here seems to be surrounded by a relatively large area, very similar to a typical LIP. Some of these lava flows you see in the picture here are actually hundreds of kilometers across, implying some ridiculously powerful volcanic emissions that very likely happened here and possibly lasted for thousands or even millions of years. And the main explanation for the current conditions on Venus today essentially involves what the scientists refer to as a runaway greenhouse effect. And so initially both Venus and Earth very likely had quite a lot of these various volcanic eruptions, although chances are maybe Venus had just a little bit more, at least based on what we see from its surface. But more importantly, it didn't just have more, but it might have had them more frequently. Or to be more exact, some of them occurred in a relatively short span of geological time. In other words, the planet had really nice conditions on the surface, but just like Earth, it would occasionally get these LIPs. Although unlike Earth, these LIPs were way more frequent, and sometimes they would even coincide. Now, based on the calculations from Venus, it does seem apparent that the volcanoes here were a lot more frequent and definitely much more dramatic in size. Yet on Earth, in the last 3 billion years, all of the large LIPs happen relatively far away from one another at very different timescales. Although in the last 3 billion years, at least 100 LIP pairs and possibly 10 triplets might have occurred within approximately 1 million years of each other. Or to rephrase this, statistically, the study discovered that in the last 3 billion years, at least a few of these LIPs would actually occur within about 1 million years of one another, which would dramatically shift the atmospheric conditions on the planet. But unlike Earth, it looks like Venus did not get as lucky. Some of the LIP pairs were a little bit too close and resulted in dramatic emissions all at once, which very likely transformed the previously habitable planet by emitting more and more gases all at once, very likely preventing these gases from returning back into the planet. Here on Earth, for example, it's usually done through the process of plate tectonics, which doesn't exist on Venus, with every following large eruption event only adding to the conditions making the planet even more inhospitable. And once the atmosphere became thick enough, and once the conditions became hot enough, everything here started to change quite dramatically. For example, the super thick atmosphere started to slow down the planet, reducing the rotation speed to the very slow rotation that it has today. This obviously changed the conditions even more, with every additional large igneous province event adding even more atmospheric pressure to the overall inhospitable conditions. And on top of this, the sun has also started to warm up just a little bit, increasing the temperature even more, which altogether very likely led to the Venus we have today. But the scientists in the study suggest that all of this really started because of these LIPs that happened in the first few hundreds of millions of years, with the suggestion being that Venus basically just kind of got a little bit unlucky. With the overall probability of a large event occurring on Earth and overlapping with another event that could maybe result in something similar to Venus only being about 30%. Or basically Venus sort of got super unlucky with a few events occurring around the same time and thus causing conditions that could not be recovered from. Whereas Earth got super lucky with our planet getting enough time to recover from every major LIP, essentially trapping and recovering all of these gases through various geological processes over time. But chances are we're not going to know more about this or be able to confirm any of this until we finally once again land on Venus, such as during the Da Vinci Plus mission that's going to be launched here in the next few years. You can learn more about this mission in one of the previous videos in the description, but in a nutshell there are several missions being launched in order to explore Venus and in order to figure out what actually happened here and why it turned into what it is today. And so even though the scientists believe it was volcanoes and specifically these large igneous provinces that happened a little bit too frequently, there might be some additional discoveries later on once several of these probes get to explore the atmosphere and of course get to explore the surface as well. In the process, once and for all answering the question of, is there actually still life present in the atmosphere of the planet? But we'll be talking more about this in some of the future videos as well. And so until those videos, thank you for watching, subscribe, share this with someone who has learned about space and sciences, come back tomorrow to learn something else, and maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, that's right, Clive. Send him to Venus. Oh, you're right, Alan.
Yeah, well, you know. I suppose I should have added the volcanism bit, but...
But that's only part of it, though. Like the cause and effect.
Yeah.
Where's the music coming from?
Don't know. Where's the music coming from? That music.
Yeah, that music.
That music.
Yeah, that was that music.
That was you, was it?
Yeah, I hadn't muted the. I turned it down, but I didn't turn it down all the way. I don't know any facts about Venus off the top of my head about its orbit and rotation and all that sort of stuff.
Its day is roughly half its year.
Yeah, it's very slow rotation.
That is slow.
Very slow.
Because when he said it slowed down, I thought, wow. From what to what?
So it has a 2-day year then?
Pretty much.
Yep. Not a very nice place to be for human beings.
No, I think the longest any of those Russian probes has lasted was just over 2 hours.
Oh, really? As long as that? I didn't think it was
Yeah.
even as long
No,
as that.
yeah.
thought it was
I think the first ones, barely lasted a few minutes. I'm fairly sure the last one they landed was, I think it was just over 2 hours before it sort of went pop.
Yeah, I think the first one they landed successfully, it was the last 10 minutes, I think. But I think that's kind of what they expected anyway, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That last one, they didn't expect. They had beefed it up, but they didn't expect it to last that long. I mean, the atmospheric pressure, the heat, the acidic content of the rain. I mean, it's everything that you don't want when you're trying to land on a planet's surface.
A hot, damp, acid atmosphere.
Yes, with incredible atmospheric pressure. Or was it something like? Can't remember the figures off the top of my head. Something like 300 or 400 times what we experience here on Earth.
Let's find out. Let's Google it.
You have a Google. I can't be asked.
It spins the opposite direction to Earth. There you go. That's a good fact.
Yeah.
The Venus we're doing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Venus.
Yeah. I was just thinking of Mercury then for a second.
Well, Mercury, it depends where you land.
Oh, yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty. 75 Earth atmospheres. Ouch.
There you go, 75. It's quite something. So the atmospheric pressure is quite intense. Then the temperatures on the surface, it's a bit warm.
Yeah, 900 degrees Fahrenheit warm.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, hot enough that lead as well as mercury is going to be a liquid.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So the fact that the last of the Russian probes could survive over 2 hours, it was bloody good going.
Yeah.
It does actually sound like it's perfect conditions for nurturing flirts.
Oh God, yes.
Send them all there then.
I'm sure they could do the world a good there.
So what they're naming after the Roman goddess then? Of love and beauty when it's such an unpleasant place.
Well, obviously at the time they hadn't a clue. I mean, even back, I always forget the name of this series of books. The chap who wrote Biggles.
Yeah.
Captain W.E. Johns.
He did a science fiction series, with a professor and some ex-military type, and I think his son or something. And he built a spaceship, and they went to the moon, they went to Mars, and they went to Venus.
Yeah.
Because at the time they had no idea what certainly Venus, what the conditions on that planet are actually like.
Their equivalent mean sea level would be 1,312.5 psi. Ooh.
Bloody hell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would hurt a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I was sorting out the thing out in the live chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when they come up, you kind of need to hide them rather than just time them out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, timing them out does no good.
No, I wasn't timing them out. I was reporting it as well.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Oh, have you had some more bots, have you?
Yeah, I had a bot.
They seem to come in about this time of night. Either that or it's that particular side that Terry's got.
Have you not got what do you call it mode on?
What do you call it mode?
Subscribe mode.
Thingamajig.
Oh, I was supposed to tick that. I
Subscriber
forgot
only.
about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the bots don't get it.
Yeah. They won't go near you because the bots are not programmed to subscribe to you first.
Oh, okay.
Then
Oh, well, I'll
they're
do
able
the
to.
subscriber thing only next time.
Yeah, and then if you like before, just put it down as a minute.
Yeah. Well, I've got time to finish off with Simon.
Mr. Dan, excuse me. I don't know if you heard that.
No.
Just as well.
No, thanks, Purple. Flesh would really be flat on Venus. Yeah. Yeah,
Have you noticed a lot of flirts are saying now, "Oh, we haven't gone to the moon in 50 years, but Mars is not a problem." Have you ever heard them saying that?
No, not encountered that.
Have you
one.
not? Oh, blimey,
No.
yeah, I've heard it several times. It's like, what do you mean it's not a problem? It's a big
problem.
Yeah, huge.
Well, we've sent plenty of unmanned missions to the moon in the last 50 years.
Yeah, but they weren't a problem either. They
we've
were a
only-
problem. Or they were a problem rather. Sorry.
And we've only sent unmanned missions to Mars. So what's the bloody difference?
Yeah, exactly.
And how does that prove the shape of the Earth?
Well, it's the it didn't land on the moon thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And so why do they care whether we go to
I
Mars?
don't know. Ask a flurf. I'm not a flurf. Do I look like a flurf?
No, I get that, but I'm just sort of saying it's that logic. It's like the logic.
I know. I'm only messing.
NASA is extremely devious and but extremely incompetent at the same time.
Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah.
They keep leaving all these mistakes in plain sight.
Yeah.
For the greatest conspiracy on on Earth known to man. Yeah. Terry.
Yes, Matt.
For the final time today, would you like to press play, please?
Yes.
To debunk Professor Dave's famous response to the Globebusters. You lot loved it so much that you asked for a second part. So we're going to carry on and watch the absolute circus that is Flatsoid trying to debunk anything. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, YouGov. I found a brilliant way to make a little bit of extra cash, and in today's times with the cost of living increasing, that can only be a good...
These are not...
the company that owns established titles. It turns out that they
titles
are a
anymore.
lot less than legitimate, and I just want to thank all of you who reached out and messaged me regarding them. Right, back to today's video, which, as I said at the start, is a continuation of Flatsoid's debunk of Professor Dave's Globebuster video. I had so much fun last time, I thought we'd carry on. Away we go.
These are not forces.
Allow me to repeat. These are not forces, but there's pressure involved in both of them. And pressure is what?
Really? Density? Really?
How's pressure involved
Continuous
in density?
physical force exerted.
But saying that pressure is involved and then giving us an explanation on pressure means that you have to sit up and take notice of the fact that gravity is in the equation for buoyancy. You can't say one and then ignore the other.
Professor Dave, you got issues, dude. Let's just see if you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
You're doing well, yeah. Hey T Brown, hey Baronero, hope you guys are all doing well. Stay tuned, I'm just showing Professor Dave to be the biggest clown there is. And yeah, Professor not Dave, I'm showing you just how dumb you are. So if you want to, you can still come and talk to me. Although you're too scared to, so.
I don't think he is. Did you see what he did to David Weiss?
It's not really going to help.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let's go.
This is trivial to prove. You say that objects fall down because they are more dense than the air below them.
Yeah. That is not creating enough pressure to hold it up.
It's a trap, Flatsoid!
But what is happening here? Your hand has enough pressure to hold it up. It's caused the pressure, it's holding it up. Very simple. You are holding it at an energy. You've got potential energy in the system.
Why down? Why not up?
Why down? Why not up? I don't know. Just like I explained, picked it up. I picked it up. It's got potential energy. I put energy into the system. It's not going to mean when I let go, it's going to create more energy and use.
Pause for one quick sec. So, using that logic, if you put it on a table and then move it to the side, it should flip back to where it was in the first place.
Yeah, if you push it off the table into your hand, it should.
No. If you put it flat on the table and then you move it to the side, it should flick back to where you started.
According to his
But
logic.
that's not giving it any
According
more
to his
potential
logic.
energy, Tim, though.
Well, potential energy, but what's the potential? Where's he has no explanation for where the potential energy comes from lifting it up.
He's talking about going from by his logic, Paul. Go by his
Yeah,
logic.
I know.
He should do. Yeah.
Yeah. So he hasn't given the explanation as yes, I do agree that gravity gives you potential energy if you lift it up. But he says there's no. He's saying it's air pressure and buoyancy. So yeah, take gravity out of the equation, and then logically, if it's anything else, then if you move something, it should flip back to where it was in the first place. So, anyway, go on.
He's. I mean, he has still. Do you notice he didn't answer the question? Why down? He says, "I don't know."
Yeah, he said, "I don't know."
He just completely avoided it. He didn't. He didn't answer the question, did he? At all.
Let's face it. If it's because of density and/or air pressure, then when released, the ball should go towards the lowest density, which means it should not go towards the ground.
It should go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, you brought it up before, Alan. I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, fruit would never fall.
Use the kinetic energy up.
Yeah, the constant pausing from Flatsoid means he's not going to grasp Dave's argument. Yes, you are creating energy by doing this. Gravitational potential energy. And it falls down because there is an intrinsic down caused by gravity. In your world, you don't have gravity, so there is no intrinsic down.
Because underneath it has not enough pressure to support it. Very simple.
But there is also not enough pressure to support it above. So why not up?
So if you say why up, it's just showing you got an IQ of a tuna sandwich. So you can join the likes of Sean Hawkins.
The IQ of a tuna sandwich. We may come back to that.
Or sideways. When you let go of a ball, there is air all around it. How does it know to fall down?
Very simple. You guys, I just explained it. Air all around it. That's actual physical pressure. So yeah, air all around it, hitting it. Physical pressure, just not enough pressure to support it. When we build a building, where do we build it? We build it on the floor. We do not build a building in the sky.
Absolutely nonsensical response.
Also, objects fall down when they are in a vacuum, which means there is no air below them.
Which makes the density point. Less air, hence you've changed the medium. They all fall down.
Yeah, but why down, Flatsoid?
Why? There's even less pressure to support them.
Yeah, why down?
Hence why you don't have any air friction with the feather. So it falls down in the rate that it's set to be.
Unfortunately, Flatsoid here is not understanding Dave's argument, which can only mean he has the IQ of a tuna sandwich. A 4-day-old tuna sandwich as well.
Maybe think next time before actually talking.
Oh, the irony.
What's happening there? Face the facts. Things accelerate down towards the ground because of a downward force.
What is the downward force here? This ball is the downward force. It's actually what? It's having a force exerted down because there's nothing to be able to support it. There's not enough pressure pushing up against it. I don't know if you've ever seen, if you guys take
less pressure pushing up against it.
Let's say a compressor or something, and they have the pipe, and they put the ball at the end, and they blow it, and the ball just stays there and spins because it's giving the Magnus effect, and it's just spinning there in the air, and it looks like it's floating. That is giving pressure. That's holding it up. Same thing. If you have to take that pressure away now, it falls.
He really does not understand Dave's argument, and one I have made many times as well. Essentially, the air pressure is pretty much all the same around that ball. In fact, minutely less so above than below. So why then, if there is less pressure above the ball, does it not go up?
This is the pressure. This pressure is greater than that pressure. So what's going to happen? It's going to go down. It's releasing the potential energy. And no, potential energy is not actually gravity. Just because you place gravity into the equation doesn't make it gravity. Gravity is not a force.
What?
Relative density disequilibrium.
Contradiction in it?
proves and shows this and explains it 100%.
It really doesn't. But out of interest, have you got or have you written a peer-reviewed scientific paper that proves that relative density disequilibrium is responsible for the 9.8 meters per second squared downward force?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
That force is gravity, which pulls everything towards the center of the...
Did you just hear that? He said that force is gravity. This is a so-called professor, guys. Yeah. Gravity's not a force.
The Earth, which is its center of mass. Denser things displace less dense things because gravity exists.
No. No. Gravity has got nothing to do with this. It displaces it because of the level of pressure.
Then how, Flatzoid, can steel sit on concrete when steel is 3 times more dense than concrete? In the normal world with gravity, etc., that's explained by the fact that the bonds in the solid, the atomic bonds, are stronger than the gravitational force. But in your world, with relative density disequilibrium, then that steel should sink below the concrete.
Pressure is different. The one that has more pressure is going to go and support it. Hence why denser things are at the bottom, because they have more pressure.
Oh my days, if he says pressure one more time, I'm going to explode. Let's move on to Dave's second point.
Number 2, flat earthers all say, I shouldn't see this thing, but I do, so the earth is flat. Then to justify this claim, you all say the same thing, typically with no context whatsoever. 8 inches per mile squared.
Yes, Dave, a great point. Let's see what the 4-day-old tuna sandwich has to say about that.
Okay, let's just make it this way. Because it seems Professor Dave doesn't understand it. This thing, let's say for instance, according to your globe model, should not be seen. So therefore, if you do see something that's claimed not supposed to be seen, it makes your model false.
Flatzoid totally ignoring that half of those buildings are covered up by the Earth's curvature. Amazing.
Get it? If I had to create a model and say, according to my model, this mug should not be seen at this distance from the camera, but I can see this mug from this distance at the camera, means my model is false. Do you get that now, Dave? So, when you see like something like this, my model says I'm not supposed to see this, but I'm outside, I'm taking video and photo and I can see this. It means the model is shown false.
But you don't have any details about that image on screen. Viewer height, how far they are away, etc, etc.
I know he's going to push in 8 inches per mile squared now and say it's not how it works. Sorry to tell you this, Dave, but 8 inches per mile squared is actually quite a good approximation for your globe. And if you're going to say it's making a parabola, no duh, shit Sherlock. There's a reason for that. Might want to contact some actual mathematicians which will tell you that actually works.
Yeah, works great, Flatzoid. I mean, totally the same.
None of you have any idea what this means. You can't derive it. You can't calculate anything with it. You can't make a prediction with it. You can't tell me anything about this value at all. When I point this out to you, you get very angry, and instead of answering simple questions, you just link me to a bunch of videos made by con men. Well, I'm sorry, friends. Those people are doing incorrect math, or lying, or both. And
so 8 inches per mile squared is incorrect math, guys.
When it comes to the Earth's curvature, yes.
Yeah, let's try and explain it in a very simple term. I don't have a block with me, so just imagine a cube sitting here. What happens when you place the cube next to it? It has double. So now you're going to double it again. You're making 4 cubes, 8 cubes, 16 cubes. Understand? So the more you go, the more it's squaring away.
Except 8 is not a square number, Flatzoid, and that's an awful way to explain it. Essentially, it means that if something is 3 miles away, for example, then you multiply that 3 by itself to get 9, and then multiply that by the 8 inches, which gives you 72 inches. But Dave obviously knows this, and it doesn't need explaining by Flatzoid.
That's how your 8 inches per mile square works, Professor Dave. Or not Professor.
Yeah,
Why am I
squared,
saying
not
Professor
cubed.
if you're not a professor?
This
I'm
is
just
why
going
you
to say
get it wrong.
Dave from now,
Yeah.
okay?
And they are counting on the fact that you won't do any math at all to check up on them. 8 inches per mile squared is not a valid way to measure Earth's curvature. If you understood math, you would immediately see that this squared on miles is totally out of place. That's because this is a parabolic approximation.
What did I tell you guys? Just because he knows his globe has a hole in it, he now has to go and throw away 8 inches per mile squared. It's an approximation, and it's a very, very accurate approximation, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
To a certain distance, yeah.
Well, yeah, so if you do know your math, you would know this works. But just because it makes a parabola, it means it works because your globe is supposed to be called a geoid. That's why it comes as an approximation, because you have different values at different places. Hence, because of your, let's put it this way, at your equator, a 21-kilometer difference. You think that's not going to make a difference if you go, let's go say, to the pole, stand at the pole and make the same measurement? There's going to be a huge difference in your curve. Hence why they have to have an approximation, because you have to physically take your geoid, which is the odd shape, or pear, as Neil deGrasse Tyson calls it, and push it into a uniform shape. That's why you have this parabolic approximation.
21 kilometres is nothing, Flatsoid, compared to the size of the Earth, and you give us all that word salad to explain that. Amazing. Look, I am thoroughly enjoying this video from Flatsoid at the moment. Let's come back next week and see what else he has to say in response to Professor Dave. But for now, we're all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thank you so much for watching. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it today, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you really enjoyed it, hit that like button as well. And if you really, really, really enjoyed it, then please do share it amongst your friends. Just enough time to once again thank YouGov for sponsoring today. Remember, to start making some extra money, click the link in the description now. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you Tuesday for the return of Gematria Effect News. And he's looking at Artemis 1. See you then.
There was a guy, you've probably seen him, is Week in Science. Have you watched him? You watched
Oh, yes.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
He did a video about the 8 inches per square mile.
Mile squared.
I can't even speak. 8 inches per mile squared. And he said actually, in most cases when we're talking about curvature and things that you can see in the distance that are partly covered, he said it's reasonably accurate for that. But obviously, it's not going to give you a globe. So it's reasonably accurate for that. He was saying that was his argument. So
yeah. But it's not actually an equation to find the curvature, is it?
Oh, not the full curvature of the globe. No, absolutely
not any curvature.
It certainly won't tell you hidden heights and stuff like that.
No.
All it tells you is the amount of drop, presuming that your eye level is actually at the ground.
Yeah. That's it.
Right, okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair argument.
So you've got to bury yourself and just have your eyes sticking out of the
And you've got to remember where it originally came from and who gave it to us.
We didn't.
Who?
Surveyors.
No, Rowbotham.
Oh, Rowbotham. That's right. Yeah, they're always banging on about Rowbotham.
I believe so, yeah. I could be wrong, but that's what I understand, that it came from him.
I thought it was generally used by surveyors because it's accurate enough at most distances we're going to use for non-geodetic survey.
Or even for some geodetic survey, it's accurate enough for that.
So it'd be inaccurate enough for that then?
Yeah, so it's actually, I do, people who say, oh, they shouldn't be using it, it's fine for almost all the calculations we would be wanting to do. It's not a good one.
Short distances, like something, yeah.
Yeah, but even for some of the Earth curvature, it's okay as an approximation. It's not a good thing to use for determining how much you should see, because what you want to know is how much below the obstruction the
I don't know
object
why
should
they
be.
And I don't know why they call it 8 inches per mile squared, because the per bit implies that it's divided by miles squared. And it's not.
It's not.
It's multiplied by miles squared.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
10 inches mile squared.
Yeah. I think that's just one of those idiosyncratic things of the English language.
Well, it's either that or that's how Robotham wrote it in his book.
Yeah.
One final point as well. Neil deGrasse Tyson never, ever said that the Earth was pear-shaped. He never said that. What he said was that the southern hemisphere is slightly wider than the northern hemisphere, a bit like a pear, or more or less to those words. He never said the Earth was shaped like a pear. Never said it.
No, because all of the morons think, what?
Yeah.
Shaped like a pear, as in the fruit? No.
He just said a
no,
bit
you
like
don't.
a pear, he said. He didn't say
Although,
the
of course,
Earth was shaped like a pear.
They also struggle with the fact that the circumference around the equator is greater than the other way, isn't it? By however many kilometers, and such illuminated types as Chris Berry think it's an actual step that planes come along to and have to climb over.
Yeah. I heard that. Yeah. Somebody else.
He's not the only one who said that, but Chris Berry did say, "Well, how do pilots, they obviously as they're flying along, they have to pull up and climb over this huge step that's at the equator."
Yeah.
And then you think, I can see why you're a flat earther, actually, because you're as dumb as
Isn't the difference something minutely small or something by about 30 or 40 kilometers or something, isn't it? Or not even, I know it's not even 100 kilometers. I know that much.
but they think there is actually, just as
I
think most of them think
know,
the horizon is a step and you just drop off, that the equator being of a greater diameter, there must be this huge wall that pilots must think, oh, Christ, thick, full power, back on the stick, we've got to climb over this thing. They ignore the fact it's been gradually increasing over thousands of miles, from the pole to the equator, and it's all gradual, and there's no shit. Look at the size of that wall that we've got to get over. I mean, you can understand why these people have fallen flat for flat Earth, because they are so phenomenally dumb.
It's saying that the water is 40 kilometers extra deep at the equator, which is like, no, it's not. The water hasn't bulged out. It's the Earth that's bulged out, not the water.
But they can't think in 3D, and they can't actually, imagine these things as concepts inside their head. They can't picture it. Can't get their heads around it. And like I say, you can see why they're flat earthers. You can see why they swallow all these conspiracies, because they ain't got a clue. I don't know how they survive in the real world.
And the other one that's been rearing its ugly head, I noticed on social media again, has been propping up all over the place. Is that one where the Australian Navy stopped those fishermen in the fishing boat in the Bass Strait?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
That's come round again, has it?
Yeah, that's come around on social media again. Everybody seems to be popping that up again. So I did a little diagram. I measured it on Google Earth and showed the measurement, and it's like nearly 3,000 kilometers away from the Bass Strait.
They're wearing t-shirts and shorts. Wearing t-shirts and shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
T-shirts and thongs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, sure. The tiny little boat, they're going to travel all across those nearly 3,000 kilometers of open sea, rough open sea quite often, to go to Antarctica in short sleeves. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
In a little boat like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It reminds you of Gilligan's Island trip. They went for a 3-hour cruise.
Yes.
Let's ignore the fact that it was the Australian Navy turning them back because they were obviously
doing exercises.
They were too close in doing an exercise, and they could well have been doing a live firing exercise.
They may not have been doing an exercise, because the boat just says you're effectively you're too close, go away.
All rise.
Yeah, all rise.
Yeah.
Move over, Matt. Move over, Matt.
There he is.
Yeah, but he doesn't speak though. I'm not going anywhere. He doesn't speak. He has to speak for me to get out.
He could say something very profound one day, and you'll miss out.
Well, that's why I need to stay then.
We found him anyway.
We're on the down stretch to say goodbye, so he's just in time to wrap up.
Just in time to say goodbye.
The other point where The other point where he says Professor Doe is not technically no, he's not a professor, but he did lecture at university. So
yeah, he's ticked all the boxes to become a professor.
Yeah, there's only he wasn't officially titled a professor.
Yes,
I mean,
but
he cares if he isn't or he is or he isn't.
Yeah, but flirts
right.
don't like it when they're arguing with people who are quite obviously way more intelligent, way more experienced and qualified than they are. Just notice how Bev treats real surveyors. He lies about them and slags them off and says, "Oh, you lied. You can't possibly do that. Oh, you think you're a surveyor? Oh, I don't think so. Oh, the gentleman from Maine," because he can't bring himself to say the Maine surveyor.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know about. Sorry, Farmers. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in British universities, professor is an academic rank, usually reserved for those who are head of departments.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different in there.
Well, I know here it's you're given that title. It's not. It is a title that you're given once you've achieved a particular level of notoriety. Might be the best word. But I mean, I've lectured at university, so that makes me, I should call myself professor too.
Gave somebody directions once at your university. Does that qualify me as a?
Yeah.
I've done quite a lot of work at some of the universities in Cambridge. Does that qualify?
Did you teach? Did you teach though? I actually taught. So
I did have to explain to people how some of the systems work. Yeah.
It was. Just to clarify that it was one lesson for. I suppose it might be a few.
I had some experience with a university. I drove past one once.
I designed a few roads in them too. But I had one lecture in. I taught one lecture in. It was at the Adver College, Adver University. Yeah, so University of New South Wales. But in Canberra.
Well, you're like a guest speaker sort of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. It was on. They were doing engineering, and it was on how the signage system works. So went over all how standards work and how you determine which signs need to be used in your road design, etc. It was interesting.
Yeah, as Professor says, professor is a job title. That's all it is. Yeah. It's not a qualification.
But a lot of people get termed professor who are not technically professors. Like my son's oncologist was always called prof, but it wasn't until well into we knew him that he actually was officially a professor. But because he was so knowledgeable, everyone just called him professor. So.
Oh, well, we're less than 3 hours, so that's not too bad.
Irish stew. Yes, I liked it. He sent me a link because I just never got around to watching it. Metallica released a new single.
Are they still going?
I quite liked it. Metallica? Oh God, yeah.
Oh, Metallica have released a new single, have they? Oh, nice.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a look at that.
Yeah, that's quite good.
What's on the B side?
We don't have B-sides anymore.
A B-side of a download. Okay.
Lux Eterna, it's called. So presumably we'll be getting a new album.
What would be on the B side of that? The black things with the grooves in them.
No, I'm considered old-fashioned because I've still got a CD player in the car.
I've got a record player.
What's a CD player? Sorry.
I've still got some vinyl. They're in a box under the bed in the spare room. I've got nothing to play them on.
Oh, send them to me then. I'll have them because I've got a record player. I'll have them.
Stop that! I'm keeping them.
I know when the youngins get in my old cars with the cassette player, they try to put their iPhone in there to think it's the charger.
Oh, did you see the YouTube video where the father got his two teenage sons, two millennials, and put an old radial dial a radial dial telephone in front of them?
Oh, did it?
Didn't have a Scooby. Like, where's the screen? They go, where's the screen?
Yeah.
How do you press the buttons?
Yeah, how do you text?
I had seen where the mother had given the two kids a cassette each, just saying, "Oh, this is how we used to listen to music," and the kids trying to work out how to turn them on and how to play the music. They had no concept.
Yeah. Well, what's the connection between a cassette and a pencil? Put that in front of them, and then what do you do with it?
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
We know.
We
We
know.
know the pain. We know the pain.
Yeah.
We're all white with middle-aged men. We know.
How do I play these big black CDs?
Won't fit in a slot. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Too big.
Demonop says I have wax cylinders in the car.
I've got wax cylinders, believe it or not. I've got a whole Edison.
Really?
Thing.
Does anyone
nice.
still have an
Oh,
8-track? Wow, I don't even know if I've ever seen one.
No.
I've seen an 8-track. Yeah, I've seen one.
But
had one.
I mean, I've seen the cartridge, but not the player.
Yeah, and I've seen a player as well. A friend of mine had one.
I had a friend. Well, my father had a friend who had an 8-track in his old 1970 Vauxhall Victor estate.
Bloody hell!
An 8-track in a car. Wow, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they were. That's what they were in, Matt.
Yeah, they're up pretty
Honestly, I've never seen an 8-track in a car. Ever.
Yeah, that's what they used to be in.
Oh, were they?
I didn't know you could get them elsewhere.
Yeah.
On Ozzie, no, I didn't know that. Honestly, really didn't know. Never seen one in a car. I know a buddy of mine had an 8-track in his bedroom, but he had like a massive amplifier system with, all kinds of different speakers and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, it was loud.
So I remember when I was really young, my sister had a boyfriend, and he had the whole hippie thing, the hair, the van, the panel van. He had the 8-tracks and all the tracks sitting on. It was complete stereotypical hippie. And that's where I remember 8-tracks.
Well, we better start saying goodbye, otherwise we'll never get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Alan. Thanks, Timbo. Thanks, Farmer. Thanks, Blue. Thanks, Fred Hoyle. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Where's Wally? Biggest Doggers, Purple, Matthew, Clive, Demon, Stewie. Oh, M2M was out there. Oh, Nerd Alert. Clive, Extra Large, Dora, M Ball, Thurston the Second, Room Fondle, Indie Tigers Sci-Fi Review. Let's go up further now. I know Dora was there earlier. Extra Large. Who else was there?
Girls 18.
Clive, Jose, Andrea.
Yeah, Jose did a flyby.
Fred. Nerd Alert. Spooky, Larry DeMarch, Judy, Andrea, Biggest Doggers. I have to go up further, do I? Who'd I miss? No. I think that's everybody that I can read on my list. I think Where's Wally was out in the side chat too there.
Yeah, he was.
I'm sure I've seen his name.
I can't
there.
see him.
Yeah. He wanted to fill the gap on the screen because his OCD was kicking in.
I keep looking, but I can't see him.
I've got some wise words to finish on, Terry.
So do I.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, let Tim.
No, you do yours.
What?
Mine is a bit suspicious.
No, mine's pretty weak, so don't worry about it. It's something funny.
Yeah, so it's fine. I was going to point out how, as wise words, we need to look after our razors, because you do realise they sacrifice their lives to fix our mistakes.
An apple a day keeps anyone away if you throw it hard enough.
Wally said it was called an 8-track, but there was only one tape. Okay.
did have 8 tracks on it.
I thought it only had 8 tracks on it. 8 songs.
No.
No?
Yeah, so why was it called an 8-track?
8-track because it had 8 recording. Like so, when you do a recording, you can have different microphone sources, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
my understanding, 8-track is 8 sources.
8 channels.
Is that right,
8
Alan?
channels then. 8 channels.
Well,
Yeah.
Actually, it was 4 stereo. It had 4 stereo tracks on it, and as it played one. Because it was if I remember rightly, the cassettes were a constant loop of tape, and as it went round, it read each. It moved the heads so that it would read different pairs of the. It would read a stereo pair from the first pair of tracks, and then the stereo pair for the second pair of tracks for the 4 stereo pairs that were on the tape.
Yeah.
At least for at least for when you're playing stuff back.
Stewie said 8 playheads.
As Wally says, he says 4 tracks in one direction, 4 tracks the other. That makes sense. Like a cassette was 2 track. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, because compact cassette is essentially 4 tracks. It's a stereo pair in one way and a stereo pair when you turn it over the other way.
Okay. Very
Hello.
informative we are here sometimes to learn about this nostalgic, antiquated technologies. All right. We're out of here. Bye, Squeak.
Yeah, bye, Squeaker.